Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Leveling Up from the Inside. As you read from the title below, today we're going to be talking about the 5 must-have items you need when you're traveling out of the country for bariatric surgery. A little bit about me. I had gastric sleeve surgery done April of 2019 in Tijuana, Mexico at an amazing place called Pompeii Surgical. If you are already following Pompeii, awesome. They are a great group and you will be taken care of from start to finish. If you are still early in your process and you're looking at going outside of the country, I will link Pompeii below. I am also going to be doing a full review on Pompeii at a later date. But today's video, I just wanted to do a quick one on the 5 things you really need to have with you regardless of what country you're going to. So I had my surgery April of 2019. My highest weight was 230 and after pre-op I was 217. So that was my surgery day weight. I am currently at 128. November of 2019, I had circumferential tummy tuck, and on that one day, I lost 6 pounds. Awesome. And I did lose an additional 10 pounds after that surgery. And coming up on August 3rd, 2020, which is in less than 2 weeks, holy cow, I'm going to have the rest of my skin removal done, and that will be the arm lift, a thigh lift, and I'm getting my boobs done. I miss my boobs. They're little tiny deflated balloons now, and I want to put them back to where they used to be because I miss them. So let's get right into those 5 things that you definitely need to have with you when you're traveling out of the country. The first one goes without saying, and that is your passport. Please make sure that your passport will not expire prior to surgery. I failed to do that. I realized like 2 months before that my passport had expired. Thankfully, if you're going to Mexico, you can get in and out of the country with a license and a birth certificate. However, if you're going to another country, you're going to want to make sure that your passport is current. So enough about that. We all know you need your passport. The next must-have item to bring with you is a heating pad. This was my best buddy. Oh my gosh, I just cuddled with it and it made me feel so much better. The beach house, recovery house that Pompeii offers did have heating pads available. However, with the COVID situation going on right now, I don't know if they have those for everyone to use. So if you can bring one with you, or if you're going to another place, you're going to want to have one of these with you. It also helps keep you warm because you're going to be cold a lot. Which actually brings me to my number 3 item, and that is warm clothes. So anytime you have really any kind of surgery that requires anesthesia, you're usually cold for a day or 2 afterward. With bariatric surgery, however, I was cold the entire time I was in Mexico. So I'm really glad that I remembered to bring warm clothes. And by the way, whether you're going in the winter or you're going in the dead center of summer, you're gonna want to bring warm clothes. Trust me. And the things that I brought, like I brought just a long sleeve, like thin t-shirt type material shirt. And then I had this really heavy duty, well, not this one, because the one that I brought was way too big, obviously, but it was very similar to this, just a zip down, simple shirt, but super heavy. For my bottoms, I had like super soft, stretchy pants. Note if you, whether male or female, you don't want to have anything on that's going to be pressing on your stomach or that's too tight. So be mindful of that whatever the waistband type is, preferably like a sweatpant that's looser. You don't want anything pressing on that area because it is going to be uncomfortable. So bring your warm clothes. The next item I have, it's kind of a grouping of items, and that is protein broth and my handy dandy thermos. So I brought the protein broth. I probably brought like 4 or 5 of these packets with me, just so that I would have on the trip back. I live in Florida, and so I had to fly to San Diego, and then from San Diego, Pompeii picked me up and then brought me to the surgical center. But I did have a layover in Texas, which was a couple hours long. So I wanted to make sure that on the way back, I had the stuff I needed to eat, because really all you're eating and drinking is liquid. And I wanted to make sure that I was able to eat the nutrition that I needed to get through the trip back. So let's talk about the trip back. Everything at Pompeii went great. The beach house was fun. We got to go shopping. It was great. So they dropped me off at the airport on time as scheduled. And my first flight was on time. And then when I got to Texas, I was waiting for my second flight, and they announced that there were tornadoes in the area. So all the flights were grounded until further notice. So finally, once the tornadoes moved out of the area, the flight started, up and running again. However, my flight back to Florida kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. So long story short, I got to the airport probably at 3 p.m. and my next flight did not leave until 7 a.m. the next morning. So I had to sleep in the airport. Now, I don't know if you've ever slept in the airport, but it gets really, really cold. Oh yeah, it gets cold. So what I did, when I noticed that the stores were starting to close, I went to Starbucks and I had them fill my thermos with hot water. And then I mixed in 2 of my protein packets and I drank this through the night. Holy cow, this was such a lifesaver. Not only was I freezing cold, but I was hungry. It wasn't like hunger pains, but you start to feel weak and things like that. And if I had not had these items, there would have been nothing to eat for me at the airport, especially at night when everything was closed. So I highly, highly recommend that you bring protein broth, not just the bouillon that has a lot of salt. And I mean, if you have that, that's great. But this is still going to give you nutrition along with keeping you warm. As far as these, I usually go to Bariatric Pal to get mine because they have a bigger selection. However, Amazon does have the Berry-Wise version of these. The prices are comparable, so it's just a matter of preference. The one thing that Amazon has that I have not seen on Bariatric Pal, and that is the protein hot chocolate. I did not bring these to Mexico, but if I had bought them in advance, I probably would have. So the important takeaway from this is to make sure that you are prepared. You don't want to overpack because you definitely don't need a lot of stuff. I mean, you're going to be the surgical center for a while, and then you go to your recovery house for a couple days. However, the items that I've mentioned here were like key items that I definitely needed to have with me to make that trip back especially just a lot easier for me. Oh, and a note about planes. When I finally got on the flight, obviously I had gone through all of what I had in here, so I rinsed it out, and when I got on the plane, I asked them to give me hot water, which they will give you for tea. And I just had her put it directly in here, and she was nice enough to fill it up to half, which is usually more than what they give you for tea. So I mixed in another packet and I drank that on the plane because I was also freezing on the plane. And that got me home, and I got here feeling good. So if I've helped you, please let me know below. If I forgot anything that was your must-have, please comment down below as well so that we could share with the community. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I will be seeing you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.